Hey guys, sorry for starting the middle today, but we just got started. Today we're creating a new function that basically allows us to generate a new eBay API token upon request. Because um, if you remember, one of the steps that we had in order to go ahead and access eBay's API keys is that, or eBay's endpoints is that it requires us to have an API key. And so today we're essentially using the developer tokens that were given to us in the developer portal and turning that into a token that we can actually use to go ahead and parse from eBay all the listings and searches and stuff like that. So we're going to go back to Mo's branch and when Mo attempted to pull the develop branch, it failed because there was a merge conflict. There were changes on her branch that weren't currently present on the main branch. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to compare what changes are on a branch. So yeah, you're going to go back to the file. So don't right click on the files. Go to your actual card cache service where all the code is. So on your right hand side, yeah, keep going right. Just hover your mouse. Yes, right there. Go ahead and right click. Okay, and then hover over Git, and then you're gonna hover over Compare with Branch. Up. A little further. Yeah, right there, right there. Perfect. Click on that. Click main, origin main. So main is what you have so far. Origin main is what's on the actual cloud server. So go ahead and click origin main. All right. Do you see all these changes that you have here? There's 7 differences, and so you're gonna scroll down, down. So you have a few changes here. Um, right. So you can obviously see that your branch does have some changes that um, develop does not, or main does not. Um, what I would do, Mo, do you need these changes, or is it okay if we
No,
discard them?
not at all. Like I said, they were just indentations.
Sure.
So
Okay. Then go ahead and do you have GitHub Desktop installed?
I do not.
Could you install that for me? Because I'm sure we could do
Yeah,
it manually on here. It's just going to take a while. GitHub Desktop just makes it a lot easier because it's built for this.
should go into installation.
Experience Git without the struggle.
Great.
You got to get faster internet, my guy.
I know. Tell me about it.
Who do you have right now?
I want to say Cox.
Mm. The problem with them is that they're all like monopolies or oligarchies or whatever you call them. They're all kind of
Hmm.
like holding hands and like I don't know. There's no real competition.
Yeah, a lot of times, I I'm able to play it off well because I know that we're recording in videos. But there's so many times when you're talking to me, asking me to do something, and that's when it gets choppy and I can't hear you, and I have to try to make sense of what you're saying.
Gotcha. Wow, that was only 17 megs and it took like 2 minutes. Okay, we really need to get a new internet service provider for you.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Good grief. It's happening. Gotta send mails, please.
Perfect.
Okay.
You might want to drag that to your applications folder, but yeah.
Yeah. Show reminder. It's fine. So this is my GitHub desktop. So just click on it.
No, don't move it to trash. Click cancel. I think you have to go into your settings or something, whatever it's called, and there's like an option to override. Are you still there? We
Yeah,
good?
so, yeah, sorry. I got disconnected for a minute, so sorry about that.
It's all good.
Let's see here. Go into the settings, like the system preferences.
Yeah, yeah. And I think under applications, there's a way to like override where it's like if any application is downloaded from Chrome, it's all good. Just open it anyways. Something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Could you share your screen real quick? I might be able to
Oh, yeah.
help you out a little bit more if I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot because I was just
Mhm.
connected. Okay, there we go.
Is there apps or something like that? Let's see here.
Um, are you able to see my
Yes, I can see your screen, but I don't know. Uh, could you click on the very top, search in the search bar? Maybe search like apps or something. Yeah, application. Uh, open application maybe. Uh, Let me look this up online. Hold up.
okay.
Okay, I will send you this link.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought I had GitHub desktop, but I guess I don't. Never mind.
All right, I just pinged you something on Slack. Go ahead and take a look.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh, let's see here. All right.
yes, I think the first one. Open a Mac from an unidentified developer. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay. Allow that.
Is this it right here?
Yes, that is it. Okay. Yes, and click continue with browser.
Okay. Can I get out of here then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go for it.
Okay, wonderful. So I did
Uh,
have it.
but you are. Uh, okay. Yeah, you have to re-sign in. I think your token might be expired or something.
Okay. Okay, I'm continuing. Authorize desktop. Okay.
Looks good. Okay. And let's switch your project from Picasso's to ours, the card arbitrage. Oh, do you not have that? Okay, go
I
ahead and click File at the very top of the like File, Save, whatever. Yeah, File, add local repository, and choose the repository path wherever you save your project.
mhm. So it would be desktop, and then it would be Underdog main
Are you sure it's not the second one? Which one is it?
arbitrage.
Yes, but they're both arbitrage. Give me a minute here. Let me go double check. I think I can tell you. One moment. Documents. Uh, it should be just card arbitrage. Hmm.
I think no, I don't want to do that. Wow.
You know what? You can just delete your. You know what's beautiful about this though is
Hmm?
you can literally just delete whatever you have in that folder and just reclone it because you don't want any of your changes anyways, right?
No, no, but yeah,
Uh,
you're right. So just go to the GitHub then.
yeah, go to the GitHub, go to my project, and just clone it, and it's easy.
Okay.
You never have to worry about it. That is a lot of notes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Let me just go to. I have the link. Let me just pull it up.
Sure.
Project resources, GitHub arbitrage. Okay, go here. This is the one, right?
Yes, and if you click under code, the green button, it should say no. Open with GitHub Desktop. Yes.
Nice.
Open the GitHub Desktop. Go ahead and clone the repository. And wait. Before you click clone, oh,
Oh
okay.
no! Oh
It's
god.
fine, but it just chose wherever it wants to clone. So I think it cloned it under the documents folder. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and then so go ahead and open up this folder in IntelliJ. So if you go ahead and click that, yeah, you can see where it is, and you can just go ahead and open that with IntelliJ, and we can go from there.
Oh, okay. And so the way I haven't used GitHub Desktop in quite a while.
Oh, have you? Okay. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. It's just what I use, honestly. However you want to do version control is totally up to you, right? Some people like to do it the old-fashioned way through the CLI.
Hmm.
Other people like to use Gitkraken. Others like to use IntelliJ, right? Um, I'm just doing it however I like to do it because I'm more used to it that way, right? But if you're more used to it being done a certain different other way, then more power to you. You know. Um, a much easier way to do this though is oh, okay, wait, go ahead and click on your thing real quick.
On the
Your
desktop?
IntelliJ, sorry, IntelliJ, yeah. Take a look at the very top. Do you see where it says the changes? It says that you're currently on branch KN-4.
Yep.
That's why it's different. Go ahead and switch it over to origin main. Yeah, so check out. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so now there's no changes with the main branch. Perfect. Okay, so I will send you the curl request for the first step on how to generate an OAuth token, and this is inside the whatchamacallit documentation. And
Are you sending
that's
it via Slack?
yes, that's right. One moment though. Perfect. Oh man, send it show code. All right. All right. I just slacked you.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and open it on the public screen. It's wait, hold up. Before you do that, actually, don't do that. I messed up on something because it contains my actual developer key, and I don't want to
Oh,
do
I
that.
see.
Yeah, so don't
Gotcha.
open it yet. Give me one moment. Oh, I think they see it anyways. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and show it. I'm just gonna cycle through the token because Um, yeah, go ahead and share it. Show your screen real quick.
Okay.
Yes, and go to the Slack message.
Okay. One moment. Sorry. All right. Let me go to share screen. Can you see my screen or no?
No, no, you just stopped sharing.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, looks good, but I don't see your Slack open.
Oh, um, here.
Perfect. So this is the curl request. Okay. And one thing that's very interesting is the basic, and I'll show you how a basic token is generated.
Is it? Sorry, I know that you're recording, but is it showing in the recording my screen?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like. You have a post request. It's hitting that URL. It has uh, one header, I think. Give me a minute. And what's the data grant type? One moment. I think that's a header. Let me double check here. Oh, that's a body. www form URL encoded. Ah, interesting. Okay. And then you have two form types in the body. All right. So, seeing all this stuff, I'm actually going to kind of sit back and watch you do it. And I'll guide you along the way and give you hints. That way you can really learn through how to do it properly.
Hmm.
Um, but why don't you go ahead and go back to the project real quick and go under the service class because where we generate tokens and stuff is all logic, right? So we go to the service class and scroll down and take a look at where it says public card session DTO generate session, right? So remember how
Line 97,
line 76.
76.
Yeah,
Oh,
this entire method, right? Um,
mm-hmm.
so this is how we do a post request on card cash, right? So all I'm asking is let's do the same thing, but let's do it for eBay instead and try to get the API key or try to get the response back from that. Um, why don't you go ahead and copy line 76 to 107, paste it. Let's change it and let's change it up a little bit and in this new function and try to make it work for eBay through that curl request I just gave you. And let's see if we can figure that out today.
Okay. So you want me to copy this, put it in a function, and then implement this curl request.
That's right. Yes. And oh, and one more thing before I let you go. Um, one moment here. This is the relevant JSON that you will get from what do you want to call it, eBay. So I just sent you the JSON of what their expected response looks like, a positive 200 response. So assuming that you see that,
Mm.
let's see how we would do it.
Okay.
Yes. But first copy line 76 to 107 and
Oh,
paste
I
it right
already
below.
did.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So
And
that way we don't actually break that function and so the other stuff that
yeah.
uses it doesn't like freak out. You know what I
So
mean?
you want me to paste it and then comment it out?
Paste it. Don't comment it out. Just change the name of the function a little bit. Like instead of like generate session, do like generate eBay access token. Right. Perfect. Okay. And all right. What's the first step you should consider at the very top line at line 109? What's wrong with it?
I basically am calling a function that I haven't created yet.
Besides that, assuming that you've that you already have other methods that are going to call this function, right? Um, on line 109, what would you have to change um, to make it correct or for the logic to work? Take a look. There are three words on line 109. What's wrong with it for to make it work with eBay? Is it public? Is it card cache DTO? Or is it generate eBay
And
access token?
would it have to be private?
No, we could public or private should be fine, but we're populating a DTO that says card cache session DTO, right?
Hmm.
Um, we're calling eBay here. We're not going to call it card cache, right? So the expected response is going to be very different from what card cache gives us.
I see. So then the the DTO would have to be different, right?
Yes, we would have to create a new DTO just for eBay. And take a look at the JSON I just gave you. Go into Slack real quick for me.
Yeah.
And so if you pull it up onto the screen so everyone can see it real quick, you can see that eBay's DTO gives you eBay's, we call it a DTO. Like you can call it JSON, but it's really a DTO.
Hmm.
Inside the DTO, there are three strings. Well, there are two strings, right? Token type and access token. And there's one integer expires in, right? And
Hmm.
so
Right.
um, let's go ahead and click. Go back to your project, and you can see that if you control or command click into card cache DTO, card cache session DTO, command click it. Ooh. Yes, you can see that in card cache DTO, there are three things. It says expires in seconds, session ID, and cookie, which look very different from what eBay gives us, right?
Hmm.
It's still two strings and integer, but the names are wrong. So why don't you go ahead and create a new DTO and name it like eBay Access Token DTO or something. Don't modify this one because this one's still good, right? We just have to create a new one just for eBay, a new class
So it,
just for eBay.
yeah, a new class.
Yes. Where would you create the class? Under what folder?
And I would put the DTO in the with the rest of the other DTOs, which is in the wait, hold on, let me get out of here. It's in the model. Yeah,
Perfect.
the model.
Yes. Go
And
ahead.
it wouldn't be in Exchange or Store. It would be in this folder, right?
Yeah, you could create a new folder. No, this folder is called Card Cache, right? And we're
Hmm.
not we're not touching Card Cache anymore. We're touching eBay. So why don't you create a new folder underneath here called eBay,
Okay. Uh,
a package.
yeah.
Yeah. Capital E for eBay. Or technically, it's like lowercase e, uppercase b, but it doesn't really matter.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Perfect. And under eBay, we're gonna create a new class, right? A new DTO just for them.
Hmm.
All right.
What are we calling it again? eBay.
What would you like to call it? Think about it, right? It's DTO that gets access tokens, right? So, um,
Can I
well,
just say eBay token DTO?
sure. I would say eBay access token DTO because there could be a variety of different kinds of tokens, right? But
Yeah.
access token makes it very clear what kind of token it is.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. All right. So, why don't you tell me what you think should go in this DTO here? I already gave you like a lot of hints from before, so just think about it. Let me know what you think we should put in here.
Well, it would be something similar to this, except don't we have to look on the eBay documentation to see
Not
exact?
necessarily because I already gave you the good response from eBay, right? Normally you would have to, but since I already gave you the JSON that eBay gives you under a good response, you can just use that, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what's inside the JSON right there that you're looking at.
So then it would it be integer expires in and then a string token type?
That's right. And don't miss the very top one, the very important one, string
Oh,
access underscore token. That's the most important, right? Because if you don't
yes.
have that, you're not going to get your access token. So yeah.
Okay, so let's say string.
You're modifying the card cache session DTO. That's the
Oh,
wrong. Yeah, don't
yeah,
touch that file. Yeah, that's just
yeah.
for you to reference.
Okay. So let me okay. So here we'll say string and thank you for your patience.
No worries. Hey, no, you're doing good. I remember when I started learning too, it was I would struggle. So it's all good. Listen, I'm just here to rack up the community service hours. I'm not getting paid. I'm not here. My boss isn't hounding me to teach you faster. So we're just going at your pace. Whatever works for you.
Wonderful. I love it. All right, so we got that. And then we got expires in, which is an integer.
Oh, and one more thing. Just so you don't
Mhm.
have to do it in order. Like if you put the integer first, it's okay. Like Spring is smart enough to figure it out, even if you put it out of order. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was today. I was today years old when I found that out. Okay,
yeah.
and then the last one would be that.
Perfect.
Okay,
And you're still missing one other thing. Take a look at what we have in this class that the other class doesn't have.
what we have in this class at the other. Well, let's compare. Um, we don't have imports. It appears.
No. The imports are managed by IntelliJ automatically, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
take a look at the imports, and maybe that'll give you a hint on what we're missing.
We have the package name. We have the Lombok. Wait, do I have? But Lombok is just.
Yeah.
But oh, so question. I know that we're using Lombok, but we don't like it's not necessary, right? Like the whole point is that it just reduces boilerplate code. So like we
Right, you
it's
could
useful.
manually code the getters and setters. You could do that in all the um, constructors, but it looks ugly, right? Isn't it much better just putting one or two lines up top?
Yes, I concur. Would I use all of these imports?
Not no. You don't ever touch the imports because IntelliJ does it for you.
Oh,
Take a look at what else you're missing. Ignore the imports part. What else are you missing?
um, annotations.
Yes. So those annotations will give you the uh, the getter setters and all that fun stuff.
Are these the explicit ones that I need?
Yep, that's right. So quick review before we do that. What does line 8 and line 9 do?
Um, they basically enable the necessary constructor needed.
Perfect. And what does line 10 do? This was a little bit more tricky.
Data.
At data, what it does is it gives you the getters and setters. So all the like get expires token, get session ID, get cookie, and or set cookie, set expire, stuff like that. All the getters and
That
setters, data
that
does all
that
that for you.
would wonderful. That would explain why in YouTube videos that I watch, this coincidentally is always there.
Used, yeah. You could theoretically, instead of using data, you could do like at getter and at setter, but then it adds an extra line. And us developers, we don't like doing that. If we always use getters and setters anyways, we just like to merge those two annotations into one annotation. So they created a brand new annotation called at data, which includes getters and setters, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then in order to enable this in this file,
Mm-hmm.
I just do at data and then hover over it and import it, right?
Yes. So create a new line first, so it doesn't. Uh, no. You do it on the class level, right? Because you wanna do at data for every single variable inside, not each one by one, right? So if you
Yeah.
put the annotation right now on line 4 at data, then guess what? It's only going to create a getter and setter for access underscore token, right? But if
So it
you,
must go here.
yeah, perfect. Import class, perfect. And you're also missing the other two.
Yes. I will go grab those. And again, the order doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
How many more hours do you have left, may I ask?
I got 400 hours. I'm on for like a year, bro. Like, I got another 10 months to do.
Well, let's get some more one-on-ones, man. I need some help with my algorithms.
Okay.
Okay, so I went on ahead and I implemented the implementations, which imported them by default. So, okay, looking good.
Yes, perfect. All right, let's go back to card cache service. Java, because we've created the DTO. Looks beautiful. All right, go ahead and implement that into your function.
Okay. So in here, under here,
No. The DTO is done. You don't touch it anymore because you already have everything you need in the DTO, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah. In card cache service, what do you change to start using eBay Access Token DTO to Java?
Um, I would have to actually say eBay Access Token DTO.
Right.
Well, this would have to
That's
go
right.
away.
Do you know what that does?
Um,
And just press enter for me real quick because you see how it auto fills it for you. Yeah.
yeah.
See, and get rid of the DTO because you typed that over. Um, okay, I think this is like a very fundamental of Java you should understand. For line 110, do you know what public means? Let's break down each of the words here. Do you know what public means?
Yeah, it means that anyone can access this file because it's public.
This function, not the file, because then it'd be class name can be instead of public can be private. But yes. How about eBay access detail? What does that mean?
That's the data transfer object.
Yeah, but like, what does it mean in the second word in that function?
So essentially, what's happening here is it's like showing us what our JSON's gonna look like.
Yeah, but what I was looking for the answer was like when you say public eBay access DTO, it means that when you call the function, an object of eBay access token DTO will be returned to you. I'm not sure if that kind of made sense to you or not.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, so when you call this function, right? When you
Mhm.
call the function generate eBay access token, right? Because that's what the function name is called.
Mhm.
Um, what will this function return, right? Will it return an object of string? Will it return an integer, right? Will it return a service class? What will it return, right?
Well, what
Well,
it's
in
gonna
this,
return is it's gonna the access token, the expiring, and the token
right,
type.
it's going to return an object of eBay access token DTO. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And so let's go ahead and go step by step over here. Um, the first step here, it says headers equals new HTTP headers, right? And
Hmm.
so that looks fine, right?
Mhm.
Go back to your. So that's telling us that we want to find some headers, right? If
Yeah.
our calls have any headers, then we have to have that. So why don't you go back to the curl request real quick? Um, let's take a look at what's there. Any headers? Oh, I see a header.
Yeah.
An authorization header. Okay, very cool. What you're going to do for me is you actually don't use that because that's my authorization header. We don't want to
Mhm.
hard code that in, right? Because if we hard code that in, everyone knows my authorization token, right? And hypothetically, when you're using this application, it should be only using your authorization token, right?
Yes.
So go do me a favor and copy that starting right after the word basic and all the way to the equal sign. So starting with capital S all the way to the equal sign. Could you copy that for me? Including the
Sure.
capital S. Yeah. Okay, and then go back into Google Chrome, open up a new tab, and search up base 64 decoder. Perfect. Go and click that. Yes. Paste that in and click decode. All right. Do you see how when you decode it, um, there is a colon in the very middle, right after 0E8 and then
Here.
SBX? Right, yes.
Yeah.
So the first part that says Jason Cha dash arbitrage dash SBX, right? All that is like
Uh-huh.
the username. And then the second part of the token, SBX dash whatever, that's the password.
Mhm.
Okay? So
Huh.
why don't we go ahead
Okay.
and why don't you log into your eBay account real quick, your eBay developer account, not your regular eBay account. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just pull up my credentials. It should pop up. Just give me 1 second.
No worries. Take your time.
Project resources. Card cash. Here we go.
All right. So
Copy
on
this.
your account, do you also see a username and password?
Let me see.
Why don't you share your screen real quick? We're going to rotate these tokens anyways. So right afterwards, our credentials remain secure. But
Mhm.
yeah, log in.
I think I'm already logged in if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, not yet.
No. All right. Do-do-do-do-do-do. All right. Application
Perfect.
view.
And in production, go ahead and request another key set.
Aw,
Go ahead and click on comply with marketplace deletion slash account closure notification process. So click on that. I think you scroll down. Okay, press the exempted from marketplace notification account deletion, confirm, and just click, yeah, I do not persist eBay data, and then scroll down and click submit.
wonderful.
All right, and then you can go back to your uh, the original page. No. You still go back to that tab, but go back to the tab where it was showing you your username and passwords for eBay. Application key sets. That's right. Saw that just a moment ago. No, not that one. Click. Yeah, you can hover over your name. Hi, Mo the dev. Yes, perfect. And don't move it real quick. Do you see where it says get OAuth application token? Oh wait, that's wrong. Never mind. Go ahead and yeah, click get application key sets right there. Application key sets. Were you hovering right over it? Go ahead and click.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Perfect. So do you see how you have your username right there is Monette Car dash Mox whatever. right?
Uh-huh.
And your password is go back to oh right, your cert ID. That's a client secret. That's what it's called. It's PRD dash whatever ending in E991.
Uh-huh.
Right. So that's your username and password. So we're gonna actually go back to your project real quick. Perfect. And we're actually gonna do something. Could you go into your card at the very top, right next to the play button? Do you see where it says card arbitrage backend token backend application?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're gonna go ahead and click down. You're gonna go ahead and click edit configuration. You're gonna go ahead and click active or modify options. You're going to go ahead and click on environmental variables. Down, 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 a little bit further down in the middle, maybe. Right there, right there. Yes. Go ahead and click on the right hand side of environmental variables, where it says, yep, there, right there. Click on that one. And you're going to do plus. Perfect. For a name, you could choose any name. Oh, there we go. Let's do something like uh, give me a minute here. And this is all capital. eBay underscore client underscore ID. And then for the value, go ahead and copy your client ID from eBay. So app ID, yeah, same thing. It's the entire thing. Monet,
Oh,
car, Mox, all the way to like 7, 8, whatever. Yeah.
okay. Oh, I thought that this was the username and then that was the
No,
password.
no, no. The password is the cert ID at the very bottom, the client secret.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
go ahead and copy the username. Perfect. Oh, and by the way, Monet, because we're
Huh?
uploading this on YouTube, you and I are both going to rotate the client secret after the video ends, just so
Okay.
people can't just access your tokens and spam requests and get your account banned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured that much. Okay.
And then create another variable. So click another plus, and then do like eBay client secret.
So the naming convention when doing in variables is that it's always uppercase, right?
Yes, for I use uppercase. Um, I don't know if there is a convention for this. You can look it up online, but it's whatever. And the value is your client secret, so you can copy and paste that.
This one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Will
Okay.
that be all?
Yes. Okay. Click apply. Or okay. Okay. Either way is fine. Click OK. All right. So actually, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna scroll all the way up, and you're gonna create a new string called eBay like client ID, and create a new string called eBay client secret.
Where would I implement that?
Uh, Put it in line right after the auto wires. So after line 31.
And it's
Perfect.
going to be what did you say?
Private string like eBay client ID or something, and private string eBay client secret.
Okay.
Okay. Would you mind giving me just a minute? I just got to look it up how to do it again. I want to
Yeah.
make sure I'm not doing it wrong here. One moment. But yeah, go ahead and create the other string as well. eBay private string eBay client ID, right? Because you need both the username and the client ID and a client secret in order to do your thing. Oh. Okay. All right. You're going to go under a new file, go to something called application.properties.
Now, when you say go under a new file, you mean create a new file
No,
class?
no, it's already there. Let me tell you what folder it's under. It's under resource or resources. And yeah, yeah, under the resources folder. So down a little bit,
Oh,
down a
yeah.
little bit, down a little bit further. Right, perfect. Application.properties. And I'll explain to you what's in here. So over here, and you haven't done it yet because you should have watched the other video.
Mhm.
Um, but for example, when we start our
Database.
yeah, so when we let's say when you run this on a server, right? It has a database, and you're supposed to have a username and password. Well, guess what? Every single server that you run this on. So let's say you have an EU server, you have a US server, you have a local server that you run, right? You have a testing server, right? Every
Mhm.
single one of these are going to have a different database username and password. And hell, they might even have a different database name. Now that's unlikely, but it could be, right? And so
Mhm.
you're not going to hard code all that. All that is going to be in your environmental variables. So obviously it's not going to work right now when you start it because you didn't create a database username and password and you didn't instantiate the database yet. Look at my previous videos to see how you do that. But over here, you're going to go to the very bottom, and you're going to create a hashtag here. Put hashtag, um, and then you can put something like eBay settings or eBay authentication settings, right? And then go ahead and create a new line, and then do like spring dot lowercase, yeah, spring dot data source dot eBay, all undercase, please, for this class, yeah. Dot client ID, and I can
What
just
I
do one
mean?
word, a client ID. Perfect. And equals, and then no spaces. There's never spaces here. Yeah, space, and then dollars. No space. Sorry, dollar sign, curly brace open and curly brace close, and in the middle you're gonna put uh, curly brace, not brackets. Similar to
Oh,
how we have it on line 6 and 7, and we're gonna put in the environmental variable name that you just set inside your settings. So you can go back into um, the right next to the play button. Remember how you had have edit configuration? Right. And if you look at environmental variables, go ahead and click on the triple dots again on the right hand side of environmental variables. Down a little further down, 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 down. There we go. There we go. Oh, you missed it. Environmental variables.
oh, here.
Perfect. Yes. On the very right hand side, there is a little box with 3 lines or 2 lines. Yeah.
That's
Click on that. Notice how you have two environmental variables: eBay underscore client underscore ID, eBay underscore client underscore secret. Right. So you're gonna copy eBay underscore client underscore ID because that's what the environmental variable name is called.
mhm.
Perfect. Click cancel because you don't want to make any changes.
Yeah. And just remember that the other one is client secret.
Yeah, that's right. So you don't have to go back and paste that in there. And then you're gonna do the exact same thing on line 23, except for it's for client secret.
Okay.
Okay, and for spring.datasource.ebay instead of client ID be client secret, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, and then under cardcache.service, go ahead and go back there. Okay, and what you're going to do is, give me one moment here. I just got to find it. Uh, Man. I just pinged you. Go ahead and copy and paste that on top of line 32 and line 33. Right on top. Kind of like how at AutoWired is. Go ahead and do that. Put those annotations there.
Okay. Did you ping me in?
Slack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So copy and then paste this where you said?
On top of line 32 and line 33.
Okay.
So create a new line in the middle. Yeah. And then go ahead and do that. And you're going to have to import value.
This one, right?
No, the first one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. This is a Spring. Okay. You're going to go under Spring application properties again. You're going to copy spring.datasource.ebay.client ID. You're going to copy that real quick. But not the whole thing. Not equals whatever. Just the first part. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to go to cardcacheservice.java. And you're going to go ahead and paste that inside the eBay client, the at value on top of eBay client ID. So inside there, do you see how it says $ whatever, right? How it says spring.application whatever. Replace spring.application.constants.oracle cloud tenant ID. You replace it with what I just gave you. No. Keep the curly braces. You want the curly brace, right? Just everything on the outside of that, yeah, and on the inside of that. Yep. And you're going to do the same thing with line 33, except for instead of client ID, it's going to be client secret. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And then I will explain to you what's going on here so you understand it and you're not just blindly copying and pasting.
I was just going to ask you to explain, so you're right on time.
Perfect. Yes. So normally when you create a string on line, for example, for line 34, you'd be private string eBay client secret equals, let's say, ABCD123, right? And so when you start the file, Java's like, hey, look, we're supposed to set the string to ABCD123. The thing is, we just said we don't want to hard code it. We don't want to make it so that every time when someone pulls it, they have our keys, right? So what we told when we edited the configuration, what we told IntelliJ was, hey, when this program starts, go ahead and inject this variable inside so that Spring knows that this variable exists. Kind of like just so that it's like inside memory, right? And so that's very cool. Now the memory has a inside your memory. There's a variable called eBay underscore client underscore ID, right? That's set to eBay client ID, and eBay underscore client underscore secret. That stores your secret. And then when Spring starts, go back to application.properties. Spring will say, hey, before we start the program, before we do anything at all, there are a few key strings that we all need to go ahead and read, right? So one of them is the database username and the database passwords, and those are all inside your environmental variables. So later on, when you create your database username and password, you'll also be putting in the environmental variables. And the other one that you can see at the very bottom is eBay client secret and eBay client ID. So what it is, it says, hey, inside your Spring application, go ahead and create a variable under this kind of package. It's called spring.datasource. So spring.datasource.ebay.client secret. And for that string, go ahead and set it to what was inside the environmental variable of eBay client secret. So whenever you see a $ and two brackets, it means that it's an environmental variable. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So now that the application has Spring has started up, it knows that, hey, inside our settings, right, inside our application.properties, our settings, there is a string under string.datasource.ebay.client-secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go back to cardcatchservice.java, you will see that um, when we first start cardcatchservice.java, Spring sees an annotation called at value, and what at value does is it says, hey, for this variable, there's no equal sign. We don't set the string eBay client secret, and we don't set the string eBay client ID directly, but we're instructing Spring to say, hey, grab inside our application.properties whatever is inside spring.datasource.ebay.client ID, right? Which we just set in the very beginning, and put that inside the string. So then the variable exists in that variable, or that string, the client ID exists in that variable. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That way, when you go ahead and you go back to your, well, you can't really see it, but when you go on GitHub, you'll see that when you're committing, all it says is like a private eBay client ID and private eBay secret, but none of it is actually going, like your actual environmental variables, so your username and passwords are not going to be committed in this file. So no one will be able to see what your username and password is because it's, well, secret. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Give me just one moment, and I think you should do it. Well, you don't have to do it now. I think after our session today, you should definitely do it. But on the developer portal, go ahead and refresh your token. You don't have to do it now. You could do it anytime later, but that's going to be very important to make sure that no one can steal your credentials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By just requesting another key set.
Yes. Well, no, you don't request another key set because you only have access to that one application. But it'll say rotate your cert, and so
Okay.
yeah, and so make sure you set your grace period to 0, and go ahead and rotate immediately, and a new cert will be generated, and a new client secret will be generated. And make sure that in your what you call it, uh, application, the environmental variables are updated with the newest username and password, because if you don't, and it's using the old username and password, eBay will reject it, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So now we have a string that has our client secret and client ID. Now, remember, it's not just that easy. How we do it is in basic format. So we previously decoded in base64. We have to basically put it and encode it in base64, right? So why don't you go on Google and search up how to encode string in base64? Or Spring Boot, how to encode string in base64. Yeah. Make sure to add Java at the very end, because or else you could do it in a whole bunch of languages, or in Spring Boot. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, you could do the first one. That's cool. There might be some better ones, but it's okay. Are we using Guava? I don't like Guava. But keep going. There is one. Java.util.base64 utility class. Go ahead and scroll down. Perfect. Okay. So go ahead and copy that line right there.
First one.
Yeah. Just copy that, and then go ahead and paste that into your Java class.
Let's take a look at this again. Stream. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Scroll
then,
down, and all the way down, I think. Perfect. And so right after HTTP headers equals new HTTP headers, go ahead and paste that those two lines of code. Perfect. And we're going to delete original input, and we're going to import obviously base64, right?
Hmm.
Right. So we're going to
So
delete original input, and instead of original input, what do you think we should put in there? What would you put in there?
um, naming variables.
Right.
Uh, base input, base input.
No. So instead of original input, you're going to keep, but instead of it's saying test input, right? We're obviously not going to put in test input. What are we going to put? Go back to your third tab, the base64 encode and decode. I'm just giving you little hints here.
Right. You said the third tab. This.
No. That on your Chrome browser, your fourth tab, technically, on your Chrome browser.
This one here.
Yes. Go ahead, click that tab. All right. Seeing this tab, right? And we
Hmm.
are doing the reverse of decoding or encoding, right? What are we going to encode to make this work?
The name and password.
Perfect. Yes, that's right.
So
So
it
go
would
back.
be this one.
Huh? Yeah, so go back to your IntelliJ now that you know we're encoding our username and password. So instead of test input, what are we going to put there?
What's that thing? Um, that we created. eBay.
You can take a look. You can scroll up to the very top of the file. You can see it, right? It's there. If you forget what the variable name is called, then you can always scroll up to the top of the file. No, not quite yet. Yep, to scroll to the very top of this file. Perfect.
Client secret and client ID.
That's right. And so go back to your Chrome tab real quick before you put your cart in front of your horse. Take a look at what the how it's done. So over here, do you see how it says it's the username first, followed by a uh, not a colon, but
Try
a double dot.
dash.
Yeah. So do you see how after A0E8, yeah, do you see how there's two dots right there? The double dot,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. So before the double dot, it's the username, and after the double dot, it's the password, right?
So basically, everything here is the username, and everything here is the password.
That's right. So we're doing the exact same thing, but for uh, the variables that were just given. So go ahead and do that for that variable.
Okay. Might as
Yeah.
well copy the whole thing, but then break it up.
No, we are not using. Remember, we're not hard coding my username and password. And in fact, I already rotated the
Oh,
key, so that's not going to work. We set the
right.
environmental variables for a reason, right? So that every single person who sets their environmental variables, this program will work.
Mhm.
Yes. So you're going to go back to IntelliJ and do that.
Okay. Let's see
Scroll
here.
all the way down. Yes. Yes, right where test input is. Line 126. Oh, 120, sorry.
Okay. So then, and then I keep the strings, but then it would be the I just saw it. It was just up here. Client, client ID, client secret is what I want to put, right?
Yes, but how do you do that in Java? What's the right way to set a string?
Dynamically speaking through the variable.
Right, but how do you do that? I'm letting you like just do line 120. Like how would you code line 120?
Um, would it be? And it wouldn't be an environment. It wouldn't be a variable.
It would be a
Um,
variable because we already have the variables eBay client ID and eBay client secret, right?
but you just wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that I wouldn't put? Where is it?
I'm just a little confused on what you're confused about.
Like I wouldn't put the. I know that you said that I'm not supposed to hard code it, but it is the variable, right?
Right. So
Or
yeah, go ahead and put the two variables in. No. Don't look at that file. That file's wrong. So go back to eBay card cache. Okay. Right before the two quote inside the two quotes, put a double dot. The yes, and then before it, put eBay client ID. No, and not inside, outside of the quotes. Yeah, and then space plus space, and then afterwards, at the very end, right before after the two quotes, put eBay client secret. I think you spelled it wrong because the B in eBay's
yeah,
uppercase or whatever. But does that kind of make sense so far? I'm hoping it
yeah.
does. Okay. So all this is dynamic, right? Because depending on what you set in the environmental variable, it will affect what's in the application properties, which will affect what this variable will ultimately become.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is
And
right. Yeah.
yes, and so in string and so then and let's take a look at line 124, and then I think we can call it because I got to go soon. But in headers dot set, so take a look at our curl request real quick. Go back to Slack. Okay, and you can see that our header has authorization, basic, and then our string that we just created, right? The username and password. So
Hmm.
go back to your IntelliJ, right? And perfect. In our headers.set, oh, okay. Instead of XCC app header, what do you think is the
Hmm.
right one to put there?
Instead of
Go back to
where?
IntelliJ real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
What
over
line?
here on line 124, we're setting a new header, right?
Yeah.
And so this header that we just had is copied and pasted from card cache. We don't use this header, right? What header
Hmm.
are we supposed to use given the curl request I just gave you on Slack?
The basic authorization.
Yes, but how do you do that? Read the entire line. It says dash dash header, single quote authorization, and then double dot basic, and then the username and password encoded in base64 format, right? So
Hmm.
knowing that information, going back to IntelliJ, right? And you can copy it for your reference if you'd like. go to take a look at line 124. How would you change that to match this new header that we were just given?
So what I would do is I would put authorization here with a comma, and then in the quotes, it would be this.
Right. So go ahead and modify line 124, and I'll stop you if something's wrong.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to do something wrong. It's okay. I'll be here.
Okay.
You're close,
I
not
don't.
quite.
Yeah.
Authorization's wrong because authorization's not a variable, it's a string, right?
Mhm.
So what do
Oh,
we do with that?
so then syntactically, I would have to put it in a string.
Yes, but remember Java isn't single quotes, it's double quotes for
Double
string.
quotes.
Yeah. Single string is for character.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
And then the
And
only thing I'm unsure about is if it's everything after the basic or
no, no,
including the
no.
basic.
Remember, we're doing it dynamically, so it's always changing. So you have basic, obviously, right?
Hmm.
So basics in the very beginning. And then after basic, you put in that encoded string that we just had, which encodes our username and password. Remember?
Hmm.
Right. So how would you do that?
Well, this has to go, so I'll get rid of that. And
Perfect.
then, so if this is encoded, then it means that once it's ran, it'll be decoded, right?
No,
So,
no, no. eBay will decode it. You don't have to do anything. You just send it encoded to eBay, and eBay will do all the rest for you. You don't have to worry about that.
yeah, so it wouldn't be this entire string.
It would be.
Yeah,
No, no, no. But remember, this is my key. I don't want to. I don't want to commit this to GitHub. Remember,
yeah,
because we don't
yeah.
want everyone knowing about it. We already did this on line 121. Remember,
Hmm.
or line 121 already has our encoded string. So what do we
So
do
then
here?
we just take this variable
Mm-hmm.
and then we stick it right here.
Nope, nope, not inside this, because then if you stick it inside the string quotes, then it's literally sending encoded string to eBay, and eBay's gonna be like, I don't know what that is, right?
Yeah.
What's the correct way to do it? Take a look at line
Um,
120 if you're having a little bit of difficulty, because we did this on line 120.
would
Put a
it be
space and a plus. Remember?
yeah?
So no, not inside the string, outside the string, outside the quotes.
Let's see, and then it would be because we want to get the string.
Encoded string, right? It'd be your variable.
Yeah. And, like I get
So, and you're inside the quotes where it says encoded string, it's wrong. You would change it to basic, right?
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Basic plus encoded string.
Right, yes. Basic space. Remember, there's a space afterwards, or else it'd be one word. Space. No, no, no. Basic space. No, no, no. Basic inside right after basic, you put a space right afterwards. Inside the quotes. Yes, that's right. Yes. No, 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 not inside. Because when you put it inside quotes, that's literally what you're sending. You're not doing a
Oh,
variable. Remember, in
okay.
Java, if you want to send the actual variable, you never put inside quotes or single quotes or anything for that matter.
So then I just would do it without the quotes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. And now I can get rid of this because I don't need this
Yes. So
anymore.
now the authorization is always dynamic based off of what the person has set in their authorization token in their environmental variable is what's going to be sent to eBay.
All right, I think I'm ready to apply to Netflix.
Not quite
Let's see.
yet. We still have other parts of the request we still haven't done yet. And I would challenge you to go ahead and take a look and see if you can figure it out. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but see if you can figure out the rest of it. Because go back to my Slack real quick, the Slack message I sent you. Okay, so scroll up slightly. Take a look at the curl request, right? So the only part we covered today is the header part. You still haven't covered the URL part. You haven't covered the header part, the other header that we still have to add in, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you haven't added the data part, right? So that will be next time when we meet up. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
I
cool, cool.
will attempt to do the URL.
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah. I think you can figure that out. It should be relatively easy.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to the uploaded video, and you have a good one.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.